My wife asked that I record you a video showing you some of the stuff that I do inside Rise Vision. So right now I'm in my main console. You won't see this because this is the root for all of our different companies that we have installed. You'll notice that you're down here with the VA demo account. But I'm going to go ahead and take you over to Fort Loudoun American Legion just because I have a menu in for them. So here I switch to their company. And eventually you'll have access to all this stuff. So we'll go to their presentations. And you can see all their presentations that they have currently in the hopper. Some of those aren't active right now. For instance, this Richard Faley. That was a band that only played till August 23rd. So that's not actually going to appear on their display. Same as this. The benefit ride that ended September 6th. It's now the 14th. So, but these are all the presentations. They won't be active in the schedule anyhow. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the weekly menu. This you will be updating quite often. So if I look at the weekly menu, this one starts, it says September 8th through the 14th, which it starts on September 8th. And the way I work this is, if you look, I have one background. So if I go to the properties here, it says September 8th through the 14th with an image. That image is associated with the American flag. You'll soon see a S3 identifier instead of that one, but anyhow, that's the American flag. And then I have text boxes that appear. If I go to properties, you'll see the placeholder is the full 1920 by 1080, which is 1080p, and I have different slides for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday lunch, and Friday evening. So they don't serve on Saturday or Sunday, and that's why those aren't included. Some of the clubs that we have, you'll see Monday lunch, Monday evening, Tuesday lunch, Tuesday evening, or maybe just Friday and Saturday evening. So you need to really pay attention to that. You'll notice the transition is set to fade, which means between these different slides that are associated, which is nothing more than text boxes that take up the entire screen on the background. Those go for a certain period of time. For instance, on Monday, here it says Monday, September 8th. You'll notice up here the duration is 7 seconds. Okay, and it says all displays and always. So you'll notice that you won't see any type of background here because the background is actually set on the presentation itself, not on the individual text boxes. So I would modify this. For instance, if I was going to make this for the following week, which we just received a fax in, and let me just show you how that works. Let me go over here real quick. I'm going to go to, and you will soon get added to this list, but it's called ringcentral.com. Wait for my computer to get caught up. Okay, so under Ring Central, I'll give you the login credentials eventually. Okay, password's already in there. Log in. They send us a fax, and actually I'll have that fax forwarded to your Gmail account as far as a notification via email. And then you can log into a Ring Central, and depending on what browser you're using. And you'll see where we received the fax from Fort Loudoun American Legion. So if I click on this to view it, it'll be up to you whether or not you want to print this out and then work off the printout. But you'll see here's the menu. 9:15:14 is free food all day. 9:16 is tacos, $2 each, and so on and so on. They'll also at the bottom here, they have events. There's a stag feed, and just so you know, stag feed means it's male only, no females, which is kind of weird, but anyhow, no females show up, so a lot of the wives don't even care because they know that there's not going to be females there, and their husbands are just going out, and I guess they can swear or whatever they want to do. I don't know. I don't go to the stag picnics anyhow. But it gives a thing. So we want to kind of keep track of this event because we might have to create a special slide just for that. But right now we're just going to concentrate on the menu. So in this case, if you want to take a gander at it, if you want to pause the video and write it down, you'll see what I do. But anyhow, that's the menu. So now I go back to Rise Vision platform, and I'll go to Monday. And because she sent me that, I know it's September 15th. Okay, it says free food all day. It's the same this week. Oh, by the way, I don't want to do that. Let me cancel all that. Because right now I'm on the week of September 8th through the 14th. That's currently playing at the club, because you can see right now it is the 14th down here in the bottom. So what you want to do is you want to hit this little icon here, which is copy. So we'll copy. That copies everything from the previous week. We're going to go to the presentation and we're going to change it. Instead of copy of the weekly menu, September 8th through the 14th, we're going to up it by 7 days. So it'll be September 15th through the 21st. So now I have two separate presentations. That is very important, because if you try to update the one that's currently in existence, then the one that's currently playing will go away and it'll just screw everything up, because it will be set to stop at the end of today, because it was September 8th through the 14th. When you get to the schedules, you'll see where I actually stopped it today. Okay, so now we go back here and we can edit this. We can go to properties, right click, go to properties, go to Monday. All the slides are set at 7 seconds. That's very important. You'll find out why later. Some of them might be set for 5. Some of the clubs are set for 6. Some of them are set for 8. Some of them are set for 9. So it just depends on the club. So I'm going to say September 15th, free food all day. We're going to go back here to Tuesday. And because Tuesday now is plus 7, it's 16. So it's 16, $2 tacos each day. That's the same on the menu that she sent me. We'll go to Wednesday. And Wednesday is September 17th. Okay, and this menu has changed. It's according to the sheet that she sent me, was chicken and waffles with coleslaw. And the price was $5.50. It's the same. And what she sent me was, or wings. And I spelt wings wrong. Or wings. Okay, and you'll see I have 2 ors, so let me get rid of those. Or wings. And the wing price that she had here was $5.50, which is weird. $5.50. Okay. So both the... Oh, I was wrong. Chicken and waffles is $6 on her. Print out. So it's for the 17th. Hit save. So then I go to Thursday. Thursday is the 18th. Thursday the 18th, it says meatloaf. And her thing had pot, but that's mashed potatoes. She had veg, but that means vegetable. And to be honest with you, if you just want to put whatever they put on the sheet of paper, that's fine. If you don't understand what it actually is supposed to mean, that's just put whatever they have down. Okay, she had no price for that, so we're just going to leave that the same for Thursday. Go to Friday lunch. That's September 19th. Friday, September 19th is Italian sub. And she did give me a price of $4.50. And Friday evening, which is also the 19th, it was, now, just so you know, what she gave me also had salad and dessert. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit here. Go back here and I'm going to put choice of, well, actually, I'm wrong, because we're talking the 19th. It's prime rib, scalloped potatoes, salad and dessert, And she doesn't have a price for that, so we're just going to get rid of this line. Save. And now she does have September 20th. Let me just see what the date is here. September 20th is a Saturday, so we're going to have to add a slide to this, but that's okay. I'll just show you how it works. So Friday evening, so it'll be Saturday. So let's just add a slide. Add, well, let me cheat here a little bit. Let me save that. Let's go back here. Let's copy. Whoops. Let's go here to the presentation of Friday evening. Let's go to the HTML tab. Let's just copy all this. Go up here, right click, copy. Just cancel all that. We're going to add a text slide. I'm going to go to the HTML tab. Paste it. I set it to 7 seconds because that's where all the other ones were, and I'm going to call this Saturday evening. Okay. Hit save. Okay, no Saturday evenings above Friday, so we want to hit this down arrow to push it down below. We'll open up that slide and we'll change this to say Saturday, September 20th. In the evening. I'm looking here, and it's a little bit different, so I'm going to say choice of steak, French fries, or baked potato. The price for that is $8.50 on our sheet. So we hit save. So now I have a bunch of these presentations, or a bunch of slides, I should say. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday lunch, Friday evening, and Saturday evening. They're all set at 7 seconds each. So you need to keep that in mind whenever we add this to the schedule, because you're going to have to take 7 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this schedule for the weekly menu 9:15 through 9:21 should be 7 times 7, or 49 seconds. So let me go ahead and hit save. And of course, anytime that you make changes to a presentation, hit save. And if you've already saved it once, if you do it the second time, it's going to say revise. You want to make sure you do publish. So now I got the weekly menu in there, 9:15 through 9:21. So if I go to their schedules and go to the bar display, I can go down here and find out where the weekly menu's at. And the weekly menu's right here, 9:08 through 9:14. I go below that because it'll add it right above it. So I say add weekly menu 9:15 through 21. And I think that was 49. 7 times 7 was 49. And I want to uncheck where it says always, and I want to select to start on the 15th and go through the 21st. And the reason I do that is, if you look here, this one here, it's 40. That was 42 because we had an extra slide. We had another 7 seconds, so it comes 49. But you'll see this one here is set to play 9:08 through 14. So the following day, this one will stop, and this one will start on the 15th. So I don't even have to be present to hit any type of buttons. That just automatically start to play. Now this one's already expired, so I'm just going to go ahead. Let me cancel all that. Go ahead and just delete this one because it doesn't play anyhow. Let's look at what else in here. We got a benefit ride that I had. The end date was September 6th. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Here's a gun drawing that was on September 13th. We can delete that. This one ended September 1st. Let's delete that. Okay. That's still October 4th. That's still good to go. Okay, everything else looks okay. So then we're just going to hit save. Now, eventually what I'm going to have you do under schedules, before you actually post it to their, and granted, this ain't going to show up till tomorrow anyhow, but what I'm going to eventually have you do is it's going to call local viewing, and I'll have you add that menu. So 15th, and again, it was 49 seconds. And we'll say always because it really doesn't matter. This is something that you will have a player attached to a TV at your house. So what you want to do is once you create the presentation, before it ever goes live to the customer site, you want to look at it. You want to make sure that the text doesn't go off the bottom of the screen because the text fonts are too big. Even though it looks good here locally, we always want to test it at our own location. So in this case, I'm going to hit OK and always, because it really doesn't matter, because this display that's associated with this is viewing at Superb Media Marketing isn't located at the customer site. It's a local display ID that we can use. For right now, I'm using it at my house. So I have a player. I'll just put the display ID in my player and watch it. And if it's okay, then I'll turn around and add this same presentation to the schedule for the bar display. I don't know if that's getting confusing or not, but anyhow, so I'll hit save and save. And I can't show you this, but essentially I have a player set up, and you'll see here that this weekly menu is playing on, a second, the displays that it's playing on is viewing at Superb Media Marketing. If I go here under displays and look, you see it's red. That's because I currently don't have that display ID on my player right now. The bar display is green, which means it's currently playing whatever displays are under the bar display. But if I go viewing at Superb Media Marketing, we have this display ID. I put that display ID in my local player, and I'll see what is underneath that schedule. And if we go back to displays and bar display, you'll see that the bar display has this display ID, which is completely different. And if I go to schedules for the bar display, there's only one display, and that is the bar display. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing, but anyhow. And here you can see where I have, here's what's playing at their location. So we got the welcome screen. There's an ad that's supposed to end October 4th. I got the trivia question, post meeting, a club drawing to go off, the weekly menu to happen, entertainment, happy hours, all sorts of stuff going on here that I want playing on their display. All right. So if you look here also under like these ads, all ads by general nature go for 6 months. This is one exception. She just wanted to run the ads for 1 month or 30 days. So I put in there an end date of October 4th. And I regulate that by, under the presentation, selecting edit and uncheck the no end date, and you'll see where I put the end date as October 4th. So without me even being there, this presentation underneath this schedule will automatically stop on October 4th. It won't play anymore. So October 5th doesn't play. That's pretty cool, and that's how we set the menus to play for only 1 week at a time, and we can load them a couple days in advance, and the old one will stop and the new one will automatically start playing. Now I'm going to show you something that's kind of complicated, but hopefully you'll be able to wrap your head around it. So let's go to the presentations for, actually let's look at the schedules. Let's go back. Let's look at the schedules for the bar display there and look at the trivia questions. Now you notice the trivia questions display for 15 seconds and it says always. Yet I'm going to show you that these trivia questions only play, like one question plays on Monday, one plays on Tuesday, one plays on Wednesday, yet this timeline says always. That's because I always want this slide to appear every day of the week. But during the presentation, I'm going to show you how I can regulate what actually shows up. So with that being said, let's go back to the presentations. Let's go to the trivia questions. The answers is very similar, but I have my background, and this text up here is constant. But let's look here under where it says properties here. You notice that you only see one thing, and it's tied to an entire text box. That text box is 1850 by 820. 250 is a start, and 40 is a width. And notice it says Sunday question, and Sunday question is tied to range B8 under a worksheet called Trivia Questions. And if you look at the Google spreadsheet tutorial, this might become clearer. But you'll notice that on the timeline on Sunday question, I have it set to reoccurrence weekly, only on Sunday. So in this exact same text box that you're looking at, this area right here, I have the same dimensions, but I have text boxes that tied to a Google spreadsheet. One is set to only appear on Monday, one is only set to appear on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I tie that to a Google spreadsheet cell. So if I go over here to my Google Drive, and I think it's under drive.google.com. And it is here somewhere, weekly trivia. So you notice where it said B8. Well, B8, that's the question. And then under the trivia answers, I do a C8 for Sunday. If I set for the presentation only display that text box on Monday, well, then I tie it to B2 is the question and C2 is the answer. Then I change these questions once a week, and it automatically pushes it out to all the displays. So as long as the displays have the trivia question and it has it tied to this spreadsheet, the weekly trivia spreadsheet, and has the thing set for the appropriate cells to display on a particular day, everything works fine. And it has been working fine. Now what I'm going to end up doing eventually is creating weekly trivia 1, weekly trivia 2, and weekly trivia 3 and 4, so that I can actually put 4 trivia questions and answers, and I'm actually going to modify the presentation. So when the answers come up, there's a, right now I think it's set for 10 seconds. So what I'll probably do is do 5 seconds, and I'll have a slide on there that says, if you haven't seen the question, look away for 10 seconds. And then the last 5 seconds, I'll actually display the answer. That way, if they haven't seen the question, they don't see the answer before they ever see the question. Anyhow, that's how that works. Let's go back here to the Rise Vision. Let's look at the presentations. A lot of these are like birthday wishes. Well, here's one that ended. Dick Hurst. Well, it's not in a presentation right now, I can assure you that, because it's expired. But if I click on it and I try to delete it and it was already in a schedule, it won't let me delete it. So you don't have to worry about screwing that up. So I hit OK, go ahead and delete it, and it'll let me delete it because it didn't exist. And here's one that ended 9-1. So hit OK. Boom. And it goes away. And that's primarily, we use schedules for weekly menus. I also use schedules for entertainment. So this entertainment backbeat is supposed to play on September 20th. And so if I go here under the entertainment, you'll see that it stops on September 20th. No sense letting it play after that. Hopefully this video helped you a little bit. I know it was a little bit long at 24 minutes, but hopefully it'll make sense to you. If you have any other questions, give me a call or send me an email. Thanks. Okay, after watching the previous video that I produced for you, I realized that this trivia question thing, I really didn't go far enough in depth to actually let somebody wrap their head around it. So let's go back here and let's look at the, notice that you're using the Gadget Google spreadsheet. So if I go back and I select properties, right now by default it just showed you Sunday's questions where it's linked to the range of this spreadsheet. which you get when you share the spreadsheet. It'll give you this whole big long identifier, and I just say a range of a single cell. And this trivia questions will pop in there because of the data URL that you put in there. But you notice it says Sunday question, but you'll notice here I have all the different days of the week. The placeholders are showing up in the exact same location. So for Monday's question, it's linked to range B2. For Tuesday's question, it's ranged to B3. Wednesday question should be B4. And as you see, that's how it works. So I'm actually linking to a single cell for each text box. And you'll also notice that instead of the timeline to display like Wednesday's question, it displays weekly on Wednesday. If I look at Sunday's question, which is associated, we looked before B8, it only plays on weekly on Sunday. By going to the edit box, selecting reoccurrence instead of daily, I select weekly and select the day of the week. Hopefully that clears up that little bit of ambiguity. You can also set the font size for your data so that you can make it however big you want. In this case, I have it set to sans serif. Whoops. And I have it set for 100 pixels right there. So I have it set for 100 pixel height. And that's just a matter of playing around with it. By playing around with it, I figured out that 100 pixels, none of the questions are that long or the answers are that long that it's going to run off the edge of the screen. So anyhow, that's how it works. If you have any questions, send me an email.